We are back with this Epiphone acoustic guitar, which I probably should have said no to fixing the headstock, which had snapped off. So we glued it up in the last video, clamped it. We put this brace across it to pull the fix into the neck. So I am hopefully going to remove this. I'm actually quite excited. So if we can just get this off, let's release our clamps on the neck. And there we go. We have a reattached headstock. Now, we are a long way from being finished on this. I mean, that's a very strong glued finish, but we need to make it super, super strong. But I'm going to leave this to cure. I'm going to leave it a couple of days, let it, without the pressure on it now, let that glue absolutely go off just to make absolute sure it is set. And then we'll continue with building it back up and getting the strength back into it. So we've let the guitar really cure now for a couple of days. Our challenge, let's have a good close up at this so you can see where the break was. That's where the nice glossy surface has broken off. It's broken right through the screw hole as well. That's where there's a little plate that goes on there. I think it's got the Gibson name on it. And then on the back, you can see again the break round the back of the neck. So we're going to try and get some mahogany wood. So you put two like little fillets in there. And we have to route out in there the two channels that we're after. I have a router. When it's switched on, you push down and you go up and down and it cuts out that perfect channel. Right, you can't do that by hand. So I need to build a frame to put my router in, press on to push the blade onto the guitar, and that keeps the guitar in exactly the right position, fixed and firm, so I can cut this really precise little channel. And then I have to cut the corresponding piece of wood. I can't see this. I probably need to cut a channel down here and then another one down there. I'm going over the change in depth. That channel will be deeper at the start and at the finish, but then in the middle it will be shallower. So then when we put the fillet in, we need to carve the shape and the curvature of the neck back in. So I go back to what I said at the beginning. I should have said no. This is proving to be a real challenge. I've never done anything like this before, and I need to take this piece of heavy equipment to it. So I'm going to spend quite a lot of time just thinking about how I build a cage to house this in. So I'm going to come up with something. I do need to just take those machine heads out, which I should have done. And the other slight problem we do have, we had the secondary split in the head. That's not glued perfectly. So it's standing slightly proud, but it's not a problem because we're going to be sanding all of this down and smoothing it out and repainting it. The holes where the cover plate goes, so the one where the crack went through at the top for the plate, I'm going to fill that as well as part of the whole process. So when we come back to put the cover plate on, I've got the two at the bottom to locate the plate, and then we'll create a new hole at the top. So yeah, the next stage, I'm going to go away, think about the little frame I need to build to put this in. I say I've seen this being done. What you don't see is the preparation and the thinking. This is a one-hit thing again. You get this wrong, you've really messed up. So, you know, maybe this isn't the ideal tool. This plate on the bottom is a bit big, but I'm going to think through all of that, work out how we do it, and then we'll come back at some point in the not too distant future, and we'll put those two cuts into the guitar. So in the meantime, I'm going to get on with some other projects whilst my brain's whirling around about how we do that. Okay, this has been whirring away in my mind. So I decided to map out what I'm planning to do, this bit of equipment I need to make. So I'm going to build, if you imagine a box, like a shoe box, and then cut the ends away. But then I will put a couple of rails in on either side, and these are to house the router, which will sit on those rails and allow me to slide it from left to right. If we just look at the side profile of the box, and you can see where the rail would be,
The router will sit on it and it allows it to move from left to right. The cutting blade will go up and down, and there's a predetermined setting on there that I can fix. And then you can see the router will be able to move from left to right. Once we know exactly how long the cuts are that we want to make, we can put some stops in. So there's a red box there on the left, a red box there, that'll be another stop on the right, and that will then determine the exact distance at which the router can move from left to right. And the stop will determine exactly how deep the blade will go. And then we'll bring in the guitar and we'll secure that in with some mechanisms, so probably some clamps and straps, and then some support underneath it, just to make sure it is absolutely rock solid in the frame that we've built, with the white line where the fracture is that we've already glued and repaired. But that's the thing that we're really trying to strengthen up. And once we've got everything in place, we'll then start to run the router from left to right, and we will adjust the depth of the cutting blade as we go. We won't do it in one go. We'll work our way through it, and eventually we'll get down to the required depth. And that's the red box which has appeared on the screen. That will be the area that has been cut out within the back of the neck, and there'll be 2 of these cuts if you remember. And then once we've done, even everything will be removed, and we will be left, now this is just a cross section that we're looking at, we'll be left with 2 cuts into the back of the neck and the headstock. And we will then insert lots of glue and our mahogany fillet, which will also be covered in glue. Those will be a really nice snug fit, and then we'll put some clamps on those and clamp them up and make them really nice and tight, and leave that glue to go off for a day or 2. And then once it's all glued up, then a bit of carpentry work going on, if that's the right term, to reprofile back of the neck and the headstock where I've added that additional wood in. And then once all of that's done and I'm happy with it and everything's nicely sanded and smooth, the final job is it'll get a new paint job to bring it back to the black gloss finish that this guitar has. And actually is a bit of an advantage, because it will mean that the repair is covered up. It is a sympathetic repair, and many guitars you can see where that's been done because they're not painted, but this one is painted, so it gives me a little bit of grace that if it's not the best job, it will allow me to cover it up with some paint. So that's the plan, that's the frame I need to go away and build. I'm going to do that over the next week or 2, and then we'll come back and we'll film the actual deed of cutting those slots out.
Well, we're just about out of time on this video. I need to go away and buy myself some timber and some bits and pieces to build that frame. But thanks for watching it so far. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do hit that subscribe button and do give me a thumbs up. I look forward to seeing you in the next video as we go onwards and upwards.